on the air. What's up?
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Tuesday morning, Groundhog Day, everyone. And it is our first Blizzard TV spectacle.
It's Groundhog Day.
Oh my God, it's Groundhog. There is Puzzatani full of himself, looking right there. Now look, you look just like a groundhog there, Jay.
I need more fur.
If you put a top hat on, you'd be all set.
Is that what I need, a top hat? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. J. Peg Luca, trusty, dusty, lusty, musty, side kick, and also very well modulated as he sits in his own very own parking lot. And I think the Beatles are performing behind you, if I'm right.
You are correct. Right? See, a couple of people look at this and it's, I don't know why it's easy to notice that and who the band is. Well,
it's the haircut. It could be the Monkees.
Yeah, it's the haircuts and the way they hold their guitar. Could it be the Beatles?
No. Look at the vintage of the vehicles.
Oh, I get it.
Nice try, though.
Yeah. Now we can't be here without the man of the hour, Pete Coles, who is not behind his microphone.
Just disappeared.
There, but
he'll be back.
He's someplace near a rocket we could see, but actually he's here in Westfield quarantining after his trip south, I think. Is that correct, Peter Coles?
That is correct, yes. I was, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
A little muted, but still fine.
A little what?
Little, you feel distant to me.
Like I can turn up the volume a little bit more, Bob, if you like that. Usually I have too much volume, you say.
No, that's
generally
perfect.
You do. It's all often over-modulated back there.
Yes, well, different microphone, less modulation.
I gotcha. How about the modulation of Gino's modulation?
Well, he's not using as good a microphone as I am, so although he has a better microphone, he just hasn't figured out how to get into his computer yet.
Oh, well, look at, I haven't even, I can't even tell you what a computer looks like. Somebody told me that I had to be near the hard drive. So I'm sitting near the hard drive.
Do you know where the hard drive is?
Yeah, right.
I'm not exactly sure, but could the hard drive be in the wall over there near where we plug everything in?
It depends on which hard drive we're speaking of.
What is it?
It depends on which hard drive we're speaking of.
All right. Well, that I think it's over there in the. I'm looking at it in the.
It's in our dark studios where it is.
Yes. So if it is Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And
Groundhog Day.
We have a storm that's still lingering over Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Do we believe the groundhog is going to see a shadow today?
I don't think he's going to see a shadow.
So
Al Roker said all of the groundhogs are going to see their shadow today.
Oh, every groundhog is?
Yes.
Oh, well,
how many
I don't know
are there?
whether our groundhog is.
There's a whole network of them.
Cover.
There's a whole network of groundhogs. There's one down in Louisiana. They were showing them yesterday on the Today Show because
I know it. I've got a whole bit on that we can pull up, and I'll talk about it in a sec. I forgot to tell everybody this is wow, it's Tuesday.
It's wow. It's a snow day.
Well, it's snow day.
It's February
2nd, 2021 and counting. And this is the Westfield on Weekend show. Go to westfieldonweekends.com for all the updates about what's happening, et cetera, et cetera. We're also on Facebook and maybe even Instagram for all I know. But at any rate, that's who we are. And Gino's here with me, as well as Pete. Pete, what's your middle name?
Anthony.
Tony.
It used to be my radio name, Peter Anthony.
Peter Anthony was your radio name? Isn't that interesting?
Oh, Anthony.
Yeah.
But the only problem is I couldn't stick with it very long because there was Rob Anthony over at WMAS.
Oh.
So they said Peter Coles is fine. That's fine.
Oh, okay. So interesting, because my middle name is Anthony, as you may know. And when I was choosing my stage name, I was going to go with Robert Anthony rather than that the name Plass, never thinking that Christopher Mintz-Plasse would come into being. At any rate, so here's so Robert Anthony was already taken in Actors Equity, so I had to come up with another name. So I came up with Judy Garland, and it didn't work. So they asked me to do Bob
That's probably
Glass.
Copyrighted. Not only that.
Yeah.
Now,
And
wait a
when was
minute.
the last?
If you're in Actors Equity, you're in the union,
Yeah.
you can't have more than one name, more than one the
There's
same
only
name.
one person. Yeah, that's why Michael J. Fox is Michael J. Fox, because there was another Michael Fox.
I didn't know that. I don't know why I never knew that.
Yeah.
But you're building but it makes sense because you're building a brand in the actors world, and you
That's exactly
only
right.
want
I
one
think
name.
it's also true. I mean, in all of the actors unions, SAG, AFTRA, and Equity. The Equity is stage. SAG is SAG-AFTRA. It's now combined. Screen Actors Guild and American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, even. So, as a radio artist, I'm still in that great. I can be represented by the union. So you just better watch out, you guys.
So wait a minute. Is there any chance that there's another Gino, Dusty, Lusty, Musty, Crusty, whatever the heck he is? Yeah. I don't want to go. I don't want to get on the wrong side of this thing, you know.
God, JPEG Luca. Well, the way to do it is probably to JPEG Luca actor or JPEG Luca, and then it comes up. You're probably a plumber in New Jersey, for all I know. Pete Coles is actually a really good name, only people would probably pronounce it Peter Coles. Peter Cowles. Do you think it was Cowles originally?
No, I think it was always Coles because it's German.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Irish in me comes from swords.
Swords is where you get the Irish.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And
the Coles has been here for a long time, so that's German and Yankee.
Yeah. For everybody in Westfield.
And then on the mom's side, I got Champagne, which is definitely French Canadian.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. On my mom's side is done, as you know, which means I'm a quarter done. She's now all done. But
yes,
she passed away years ago.
Was she married to Over?
It's the old joke.
Was she married to Over?
Overdone. No, she was married to Demi Plass, Damas Plass. But at any rate, and then the other side was Robarge, which I think is a spelling of Roberge, is the same family or whatever. I have no idea. But so here we are at home. Were you in all day yesterday? Well, you're quarantining, Peter Coles.
Yes.
Because you were right behind you is some rocket going off.
That's where I'm going in April to see the Starship. That's the Starship. That is over 120 feet tall and 30 feet in diameter.
It's a big mother. That is a really big ship.
It's like a 10-story building.
Holy mother. And where is that going?
That's supposed to be well, if Elon Musk has his way, that'll go to Mars. It's already been contracted to develop a moon version for NASA,
right.
And it could replace our jet airliners someday.
You're kidding me. You mean like people let's go on a jet airline to Mars or wherever?
Well, think about it. 30 feet in diameter. That's as big as your house.
Wow. So
imagine going from New York to Tokyo in about 45 minutes.
amazing. I wonder what the torque would be. Would everybody be going? Would everybody's face be looking like sort of like those Rich Housewives or whatever?
You'd probably experience about 2G on ascent.
And so what's in the torque in it? I don't even know why I'm even saying torque. I
It's
have
G.
no idea why I know that.
It's G. It's multiplication of G forces. So
And
one G
what's
is Earth
when you're
gravity.
sitting in an airplane, are there G forces working on your face and your body?
When you take off, you probably experience about an extra half a G.
Uh-huh.
You know, you feel when you're taking off, you feel you kind of push back in your seat a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably about an extra half a G.
And then the
The shuttle
astronauts
taking off was about 2 or 3 G.
So what's the G's for the astronauts going up into space?
I think the most they experience is like 2 or 3.
Oh, that's not so bad.
A fighter pilot doing
really bad.
A fighter pilot doing all those kind of maneuvers can experience up to 8 or 9 G, but you can't do it for very long, otherwise you black out.
Holy God, help me!
I'm just watching my plow guy out here.
Oh, your plow? Oh, mine came at 3:30 this morning. They were here.
Yeah, he's here now.
The dog was barking at 3:30. Yeah.
I'm hoping he does a good job clearing it this time.
Do you have your plowmen guys clean your car?
No.
Jay, is that part of your experience? Oh, you are Marion's the plow woman.
I'm the plow
I turn on the front light for him.
Yeah, I'm the plow guy. So yeah, I get when we have this much snow, I learned that a snowblower is better than a plow. And some years ago, I had to replace my tractor, so I went out and got a John Deere. And I says, okay, I've always wanted the John Deere. I got the one I wanted. It's a little bit higher than the basic model. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, I got to replace my snowblower coming up soon. So, to hang a snowblower on the front of this thing was about as expensive as to buy a separate snowblower. So I got a snowblower. Wow. So I've got my John Deere with the giant snowblower on the front, and like I can blow snow into 2 neighbors' yards down the road. The thing is powerful.
Wow. So you have to regulate that snow, the torque of the snow going into your neighbor's yard.
The force of the snow coming out of the chute is you can control the direction and the arc of that snow.
Boy, it could be beautiful.
It is actually. If you think about it, one of the things I love to do not too many years ago is make snow. You go up to the ski area. So blowing snow out, especially if it's fluffy snow and it's not too windy, you feel like, okay, I'm out here making snow, but I'm not really. I'm just moving it around.
Yeah. I love it. So you go out later. You haven't been out now to.
No, I don't want to wake the neighbors up, so I'll wait till after 8 o'clock. If I don't have to go out to do snow early in the morning, my old, when I was working the Berkshires, then I had to go out and fire up the snowblower at 4 in the morning. The neighbors weren't always happy.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Down here, unless I have to go out, I won't.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of. I am kind of glad that I had the New York experience because we had noise all night. When I lived on 47th Street or 72nd Street or 50th Street, those are my streets. All of them were very noisy. So now that I'm surrounded, we have the post office across the street, and then I've got the East Hampton Savings Bank over that way, and then I have the guy over there. Vic is a lovely man, but he has to go to work, I think, down at the Bradley Field. So he's up early. And the guys who live over there also are a 5 a.m. riser. So there are sounds like this all night long. Starting at about 3 was vroom, vroom, vroom.
You have it so tough, Bob.
It's
a tough life. Somebody's got to live it.
In my neighborhood, the snowplow is like a road grader size thing with a giant plow on the front, and he comes around, and surprisingly, he's not that loud. So he's an artist. He comes around. He doesn't take out the mailboxes like you see happen.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean,
those guys with those front plows that are got the wings on them and stuff that just don't keep trucking.
yeah, they, though, yeah, well, mine's a slow neighborhood anyway, and it's on a curve. So
Oh, great.
you've got to.
Mine, Proudy Landscaping are the folks that do mine.
Proudly.
Proudy,
I know
yeah.
Dave Proudly. He used to.
Yeah, Proudly Landscaping.
Proudly, yeah. Dave Proudy is the owner. And he used to coach football at the high school. He might still, but when my son was playing, that's how I knew him. He coached
I think unfortunately Dave has died. Oh, no, not Dave has died. Dave is the son.
Yeah, his dad passed away.
His dad. So, okay. So it is the same gentleman.
It is.
But they come with it looks like the Marines have landed.
It's a small army, yeah.
Oh my God, it's something else.
I have him do work around here, and yeah, I have him do work around here in the spring, you know, and it is. He'll bring a small army in an hour. He'll do something that would take me a week.
Oh, it's terrific, and he takes away all our trash, or our stuff, because the Christmas trees are sitting out there still. Honest to God, I can't believe
you haven't taken the lights off them yet. They won't take them until you take the lights off them.
Oh, we took the lights off them.
Decorations, garland.
Yeah. They were the small ones.
Actually, in Westfield, does your landscape guy pick up your tree? Because in Westfield, they don't do curbside pickup anymore. You got to bring them to City Hall.
Oh, yeah, no, but usually we ask him, would you mind, in the springtime, when he's doing his springtime cleanup, he'll take the tree with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we have another 8 weeks with the trees. I wonder, but if by that time I will have taken off the little stands that they sit on, which are sitting out there. I don't know. I'll get to it. You know, that's it. So how long does it take then, Peter? You're looking, where are you? In your living room?
No, I'm in my office. My son's old bedroom turned into an office.
Oh, I see.
But I could see, I got a window facing the driveway, so I'm watching what he's doing, and he's plowing it differently than last time. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck he's doing.
Oh,
but there's a lot of snow out there.
Because there's a lot of snow. What's our snow total, Peter?
They say officially it was 12.5 inches.
12.5.
Over at Barnes Airport.
Yeah, up in the hills they get a foot and a half or so.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, about 18.
Worcester as well.
Is this it for the winter? Is this our one storm, do you think?
No, Bob. I think we'll probably get one or two more.
Really, you think so?
Groundhog.
Wow. I'm wondering how Boston is. It hasn't crippled New York City? I mean, like
New York got a lot apparently.
Yeah, Boston's getting some rain. They got snow and a mix of rains. So inside 128 it's just going to be sloppy. But in South Shore and the Cape was mostly rain.
Gosh.
But up in North Shore and New Hampshire, it's going to be snowing for a while, probably till noon today up in New Hampshire. I got a couple of guys up there I'm getting reports from.
Yeah. Do you tell them as the boss, oh, stay home and be safe?
Oh, heck no. Follow your state and local guidelines as to travel. And in most cases, our customers are staying home. But if there's a customer that really needs a tech out today, they get in touch with them, and we'll do our best to get there.
Great. Hey, this means the COVID crisis has really taught us, or eliminated the snow day from schools, hasn't it, in a way?
Yeah,
somewhat.
If I was a kid, I'd be darn annoyed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think somewhat. I think you're right. To a certain degree, it has.
We lived for snow days. When it snowed and we had a day off, it was like the whole neighborhood. We all went to school anyway, but we brought our sleds. I mean, we lived for the day out there. And I think I've talked about this on the air before. We had double hills across the street. We had our favorites were the double hills.
Oh, yes.
Equal. They were both equal size hills, equal pitch. And they leveled off and then went down again. And
you mean you had that roller coaster kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
So that was our favorite area that we'd go. And then we had Suicide Hill, and that was the one that had woods at the bottom of it. and it was steeper than the double hill. It was longer and steeper than the double hill, and we had woods at the bottom of it. Now, we also had a trail through the woods, and it was probably 15 feet wide, maybe, or less. But
a man-made trail.
Well, it was a
The
well-worn trail. We had a bunch of kids because we had Durwood Miller lived at the end of the little trail. So if you went into the woods on this trail and had one of those flexible flyers, the old ones you could steer, the real good ones, yeah, you'd go down the hill into that trail and you'd go curve off to the left. And if you got enough speed, you could end up in Durwood's backyard. You see, that was the prize you got.
Unbelievable. And was Durwood there greeting you with a hot chocolate?
No, his mother was chasing us back out with her rolling pin in the air.
Wow. When do you hear the name Durwood? Other than Durwood, Kirby is the only other Durwood that I know. You know a Durwood.
I knew a Durwood Miller. I don't know why I remember that.
Yeah. You don't know Durwood Kirby?
I know Durwood Kirby. He was a television or an actor.
No, he was the sidekick of Gary Moore.
Gary Moore show. Yeah.
The Gary Moore show.
Television.
Yeah, Durwood Kirby. Yeah. I don't think he had any other kind of career or anything.
He was a television personality.
Personality. That's exactly right. Durwood. Dirwood.
Is that what it was?
I wonder if there are any. Did you ever know a Durwood Peter Coles?
No, I can't say as I do.
Maybe Durwood. What was Durwood's last name, Jay?
Miller.
Durwood Miller and Durwood Kirby are the only two Durwoods around. No, Durwood's not. Unfortunately, Durwood Kirby's been passed for a long while, but
I don't know if Durwood Miller's still around. He was about my age.
Yeah. Oh God, what an awful week for today. Hal Holbrook, Mark Twain's impersonator, died yesterday. I think in '97. He played Deep Throat in the movie All the President's Men, among other great roles.
How did we know that? Because nobody ever knew who Deep Throat was. So how did we know that it was him?
I think there's another movie that has actually the real Deep Throat story, and I can't remember. Somebody came out and said that they were Deep Throat last year, but Hal Holbrook actually started in Holyoke, or was in his early days. He was one of the Mount Tom players, and he did Mark Twain Tonight, or he was one of them. I'm not going to lie here. Wait a minute. He did Mark Twain Tonight at the Mount Tom Playhouse several seasons, I think.
Was that up in Mountain Park?
Up in Mountain Park.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they had all the stars were coming up there, et cetera, et cetera.
That was a big deal back then.
It was a big deal. So rest in peace. And oh God, last week, Kelly and Ryan had Cecily Tyson on for a lovely interview. Yeah. She had just written a book, or has just published her book. It's come out. And Just As I Am is the name of the book. And she was there. She did this wonderful interview, and then went home, or she was at home. It was from Zoom, and she passed away that night.
She was a classy lady.
Unbelievable. So I'm really saddened about those two things. And hey, Groundhog Day. When you think of Groundhog Day, you think
Groundhog Day.
When you think of Groundhog Day, what else do you think of?
February 2nd.
Yeah. Is there something else that you think of?
Snow or not to snow?
Groundhog. No. How about Hollywood-wise?
Oh, it's Groundhog Day.
Which means in the movie, Bill Murray, Groundhog Day now has come to mean like a cucumber that regurgitates.
And I got to hear Sonny and Cher singing "I Got You, Babe" in the morning.
That's repeated over and over in the movie. So when I was selecting songs for today, I decided that we were going to go with the Groundhog Day theme. And most of the songs, except for this first one, are all connected to Groundhog Day, either Groundhog Day itself or Groundhog Day, the film. and not necessarily the film, but the idea that something happens over and over again. Okay, so but before that, I lied last week, folks. I lied. This is going to sound like Groundhog Day. Stefan Grappelli. Remember, you know who Stefan Grappelli is? Stefan Grappelli. Remember, I taught you last week.
I don't have a clue.
We did about 10 minutes on this.
Okay.
He was playing with Django Reinhardt. He was one of them, and I said he was one of the greatest guitarists that ever lived.
Don't now I remember.
In your humble opinion.
Yeah,
in my humble opinion. Well, I got up from the show, and I'm sitting here thinking how nice the show was, and then all of a sudden, I realized, wait a minute. Stefan Grappelli is not a guitarist. He plays the violin. That he's one of the world's greatest violin players. He was playing with Django Reinhardt, who is the guitar player par excellence, for the gypsy jazz guitar bar. So everybody, I hope you weren't going out last week saying that the greatest.
Wait a minute, Bob. Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
What are you doing?
You're missing my sound effects?
Oh, I'm missing your sound effects, Peter. Oh, it.
Can you hear that at all?
No.
We hear one note on the piano.
Really?
Does that mean we're not going to have music?
How about now?
Oh, yeah. For your information.
Okay.
That's great. Lovely.
It's the damn noise canceller.
Oh my God. Look at this. Jay,
oh, he wants the hat.
There we go.
I'm telling you, Jay, if you make your mouth a little smaller, that groundhog and you look almost alike. All right, so listen, everybody. Since it's Groundhog Day, I'm going to now play another Stefan Grappelli number. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's fabulous. We got to talk about that.
That's something like we hope to look like over behind the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, I love it. They drive-in concerts.
Yes, we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. All right. So Stefan Grappelli is going to play another song with Yehudi Menuhin this time. Now, do you know who Yehudi Menuhin is?
It's the world's greatest guitar player, isn't it?
I think that Yehudi Menuhin is a violinist, if I'm not mistaken.
Love it.
Another era. Who knew?
It's another era. Stefan Grappelli is a great violinist. He's the gypsy jazz violinist in a way, par excellence. And so, since I lied last week, I'm going to pick myself up and start all over again. Pick yourself up and start all over again, just like it is on Groundhog Day. And so this is Stefan Grappelli and Yehudi Menuhin. Start all over.
provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio, 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Well, it is Groundhog Day 2021 and counting. My name is Bob Plass. I'm here with Gino Pagluca, trusty sidekick, Pete Cole's kitten of the Keys, who is here somewhere. I think, he'll be, there he is. And hey, I was just checking. Puxatani Phil, okay, is the official United States groundhog.
Yes, but there are many others,
How often
right?
do you think he's been right?
I bet he's 50-50.
He's been doing this since 104 years ago. 104 years ago. He's been doing this for 104 years.
50-50?
Nope, not even 50-50.
No, he's less than 50%.
19%.
I didn't think it was that much less.
Yeah, according to Storm Facts Almanac, which has been tracking Phil's predictions since 1887, Phil has been correct. Oh, no, wait a minute, okay. Wait a minute. His predecessor, okay. Since 1887, Phil and his predecessors have seen their shadow 104 times, okay? And not seen it only 19 times. Oh, I get it. Okay, according to Storm Facts, which has been tracking, well, this is pretty good. Phil has been correct 39% of the time.
There you go.
Not too bad. Now, Peter, that sounds like a place for you to go, Puxatawny, Pennsylvania.
If
you go to see those rockets go up.
It's a road trip for us.
My scary thing is I feel like I'd get stuck there forever.
You get stuck. Oh. Do you remember?
It's Groundhog Day. Well, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
There's my fear that that movie was actually true, and I'm going to be the one that gets stuck in the loop.
Yeah. In a quick programming note, Peter, volume on all of the music and spots.
I know. I backed it down. I saw you.
About 25%.
Yeah, I saw you.
Oh, those engineers are at it again. Gino, the engineer.
My problem is I can't hear the finished product because I'm routing it through the control room at the
transistor radio with a little ear thing.
Yeah, it sounded actually. Stefan Grappelli, famous violinist, sounded a little like fingernails on a blackboard to me.
So he wasn't the best then, was he?
Well, maybe you should have sent me a text like JPEG Luca.
Yeah. Oh my God! Remember those fingernails on the blackboard? It's nothing worse. Or
kids don't know that. They don't have blackboards anymore, do they?
Right.
They don't make blackboards?
No, they're not in the schools like they used to. See, there was a certain joy to being told to go out and clap the erasers outside. And of course then you had to be reminded, don't clap them against the wall of the school, but because you get all the chalk marks on the bricks.
By the way, a note: City Hall will be opening at 11 a.m. this morning.
Thank you.
Great!
And Westfield schools are on a remote learning day.
Remote learning day.
I want a snow day.
No more snow days. Oh my God, that can't be all over the place. Really, can it?
What do you mean?
The idea that there'll be no more snow days. I mean, there'll still be a snow day.
Well, but then the kids will get out on time.
They'll get on. What do you
They'll
mean?
get out of school instead of getting out on July 1st. They'll get out on June 20th or whatever.
Oh, I get it. Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
shorten the school year or
Yeah.
whatever and send them home to their parents
So they
Correct. Yes.
or stuff.
Summer will start earlier.
Yeah. Hey, I got a little thing I want to talk about. Adverbs. I'm on this kick. I've heard this week on television trusted newscasters using the adverb incorrectly. Do you know what an adverb is?
I was just going to say,
Gentlemen.
first, Mr. English teacher,
Yes.
please define an adverb.
An adverb is a word that modifies a verb.
It's a verb with an ly ending, right?
It has to have an ly ending.
Right.
Yes. So when you say to somebody at night, go and they come to visit you with their mask on, when you say to them, hey, be careful out there, drive safe, it's incorrect. It's drive safely, because the word drive is an action word. It's a verb. And then ly at the end of it makes it the adjective.
So it should be drively safe.
Drively safe.
No.
Yes, yeah. You don't want to split infinitive there or whatever. But I've heard so many folks on the news lately saying
the news is pitiful when it comes to the English language, Bob.
Huh?
I'm not a great writer, but
Yeah.
the news is pitiful when it comes to the English language. I watched 3 live reporters this morning screw up the English language so badly that I thought they were in the 3rd grade.
Isn't that interesting? I've been noticing that too, and I say, what is with this?
That's because they're all just trying to describe slowly in a different way.
No,
last night
the snow is coming down slow. Would not be a word. That's not right. It's slowly.
It's slowly drifting to the ground.
Do you remember their mistakes, Peter, this morning?
One guy was like fumbling over one word, and I can't remember. It was the guy up in Greenfield. He was either frozen, which he gets a pass for being frozen, but I don't think he was only 32 degrees. Or his brain, I swear to God, it's like, do they teach anything in college nowadays? Like, they teach these guys journalism, but then they can't speak because all they do is this.
They're texting?
They don't know how to.
You know what?
People don't know how to speak anymore.
I got to give all those people credit, because to put a sentence together without using the word or the sound or between or stutter, and to put one sentence together after another is really incredible. They don't write like.
Come on, man.
Maybe you could tell me this, Peter Coles. When you're a meteorologist on television, is your report written out on the teleprompter and you're just reading it?
You're not. It's not written out for sure.
So they're just speaking off the cuff about this and that.
Right. That's why when you notice when somebody new gets in, when you get a new meteorologist in the area, it takes them about a week because they're trying to figure out where stuff is on the map and all the names of the towns that they're going to reference in the meteorology. It takes about a week and a half for them to actually get up to speed. They fumble. It's hilarious the first week that they're here because they know the towns and cities that they came from, but they don't know the lay of the land here yet. And it takes them a while to learn like Chicopee.
Oh yeah.
And Lanesboro and some of the Berkshire towns.
Worcester, Leicester.
You think it's hard out here? You ought to see the new Boston guys.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Oh my God.
Dorchester.
Eastern Massachusetts doesn't have a town that sounds like it looks.
Right.
That's right. It's written like it looks. So we got to give them credit. Our regular man, Steve Bannon, is it Steve Bannon? Not Steve Bannon. We don't have Steve Bannon. Is that what he's doing now? That he left the government.
I'll just let you hang on that one.
Bannon is his name.
Nick Bannon.
Nick Bannon.
He's in San Antonio.
He's left. He went to
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. That's right.
Yes.
But he arrived here and he had a British accent for years.
Correct.
And then did he send himself to some kind of elocution to learn how to speak the American
He had a
language?
very slight British accent. It wasn't much.
Oh, in the beginning, I thought he sounded like he was like from just Piccadilly Circus or something.
What did you say? He had to go to get an electrocution?
Elocution.
Oh.
You know, when I was a kid, there was such a thing. You had a choice of taking elocution lessons or guitar lessons, piano lessons, accordion lessons. Elocution was one of those lessons that folks would pay their kids to go to have elocution lessons.
And you chose accordion lessons?
I had no choice over that. I was forced into it. And unfortunately, I would have wanted to play the piano. You know, I have a piano. Oh, listen, while I've got you here about piano, I just signed up to learn how to play the piano yet again. There is this, this is not
Seriously?
an advertisement for these folks, but the great courses. Have you ever heard of the great courses?
There's different things out there. Great courses, master class.
Yeah, like master class or something.
Yeah, a couple different services.
I got this in the mail. 25%, all courses, $35 or less. That's not true. There's a whole group of courses that are $35 or $25 or less. So in here, they had a course on Mediterranean cuisine for $25, 26 half hours, and then a 36, I think 34, 36 lesson, learn how to play the piano. So those are the two that I signed up for. I think, and there's another one that teaches me how to saute or something. I don't know. But if you're really interested in finding out about this, these courses usually are like $300 or something. Discover the science of good nutrition, learn how to cook from an expert at the Culinary Art Institute, life in ancient times, National Geographic. I let Danny Nason know about the photography workshop.
Are they giving you money for this, Bob?
No. But, you know, it's a public service. I know there's master classes out there and they might be having a sale, but these guys at the Great Courses, thegreatcourses.com, are having a sale. So check it out if you're interested. I don't know. But so I am going to walk around the corner. I'm not doing it today, but someday in another 25 weeks, I'll take you to my piano and I will play a song for you.
In 25 weeks.
Have you ever had piano lessons?
When I was a youngster, we had a baby grand in the living room. So my mom was a concert pianist in high school. She was very good.
Yeah.
And growing up, I remember all the yellow books. Anybody that's been around a music, the manila-looking covers on the music books. She had Tchaikovsky, Chopin, wonderful piano pieces, all under the piano bench. They were all stuffed under the piano bench. Sure. And then she would always have a few up on the piano. And I remember growing up with her playing this little baby grand piano. And I wanted to learn.
Good.
We had the local piano teacher came over to the house and I took lessons every day after school. So that went on until I realized that it was cutting into my television time because Superman was on at the same time. So I decided, nope, no more piano for me. Now I learned the basics, but no reading.
So
music.
If you come over here, you could sit down at my piano and play something?
Yeah.
Look at you. Honest to God.
I never knew that.
I play the piano like an accordion.
And
honest to God, I do.
You're bragging about this on the air?
Yeah. The piano, unfortunately, the accordion is written in a different, the bass clef is written differently than in the piano bass clef.
See, now I didn't know that.
It's dreadful because I didn't learn that. So
there's not 88 keys on an accordion either.
No, and it's very difficult to pick a piano up on its side and
Yes.
squeeze it.
And squeeze it. You know, it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. But so now I have this kind of papa. I taught myself how to do papa, but the fingering is all wrong and everything.
Papa.
I took piano lessons from my singing teacher, Margaret Hill Sarno, for maybe about 6 months. But she would scream at me when I put my hands on the keys. Maggie, forgive me, but you know, you would, no, that's not it, and then I would get all nervous. So it was really not, it was affecting me in a real bad way. So consequently, I gave up the piano. Peter, are you doing exercises, or is that a...
Yes, I'm driving up my blood pressure.
Oh, look at you.
I thought Bob and I were driving up your blood pressure.
Well, I was trying to find out, so I put on my my blood pressure monitor here.
Oh,
Look,
I've got mine here too.
It's a pulse ox meter and a blood pressure monitor. You got me at 70. I started at 64 beats a minute, then Bob started going. I went up a little bit.
Oh my God!
But I found out that the new version of Zoom here has a blur feature.
A blur feature?
Yes, so you can the latest version has a feature.
Look, and you blurred your background.
Correct. Yes, a blur feature. So instead of keying something in, it keys in a blur.
Oh yeah, but that means that you can't see where people live and all that.
Exactly, it's a security feature.
Oh,
so if you have a City of Westfield account, when the next time you sign on to one of my meetings, it will force you to update your client.
So wait a minute, you got it. So how did you find this feature on Zoom?
Choose virtual background. It says blur. I can go none. See, there's none. There's my backdrop.
Okay.
With
Is
my
that a
big
real
board
backdrop?
in the background.
Is that your real backdrop? Okay.
That's my room.
I love it. Look at that. Nice.
All the junk.
Did you steal that from Coles Court?
No, I actually bought it. It says Coles Road.
Coles Road. There's a Coles Court in town. There's a Coles. So
I do know that, Bob, but I actually got a Groupon, and I bought a couple of them, and I gave one to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got one for his house. I gave one to my mom. And
these are license plates or street?
No, they're street signs. You can buy street signs, Bob.
Oh, you can?
Custom made.
That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
I'm not kidding. I bought it. It's only one-sided anyways.
Hey, you guys. I got this great song. Tell me, this is a great song for Groundhog Day. It's called Repetition, but it's the song at 6:45, Peter, that our wonderful Wisconsin music director selected. Chris selected this song, and it's by a group called Trampled by Turtles.
I saw that. I was kind of chuckling about it.
Trampled by Turtles. Picture that.
Trampled by getting trampled by turtles. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Where would you go? I mean, they'd have to be giant turtles, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah.
Trampled by turtles.
It's you never were you were never in the 50s in the Trampled by Turtles B movies?
Never. Wait a minute. Yeah. Is there such a thing? Jay?
What, giant turtles?
No,
it was right after
by turtles.
Yeah, it had the fly, the giant ants, the tick, and the giant woman.
What show was that?
This was a 50s thing.
And it was called Trampled by Turtles?
No.
It was the giant show. Oh, all right. Okay.
I'm just.
Well, that's the story of my life. No respect. No respect.
Yeah.
None at all. None.
American bluegrass folk rock band from Duluth, Minnesota. They've released eight full albums, 3 of which have reached U.S. Billboard bluegrass chart number 1 spots. And Palomino was their big hit on the bluegrass charts. Their latest album is Life is Good on the Open Road. It was released in 2018. This is Trampled by Turtles, Repetition. Slow.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. It's my sister's
Groundhog Day.
Yes, it's my sister's birthday today. And when she wakes up, if she sees her shadow, we'll have 6 more weeks of winter. She
6 more weeks?
Tani Phil. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at you, Peter. You're on Broadway right now. For folks on the radio, he keeps giving himself backgrounds.
Yes.
I like the Northern Lights one.
There's the American stripes. Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? It's behind Mr. Coles.
Hey, Peter, how was your trip south?
It was actually quite good. It wasn't nearly long enough, but my girlfriend could only get a couple days off, so we went down 2 full days, and I kind of showed her around Cocoa Beach, and we tried to catch a launch, but with the Starship launches, they're very cautious because they want to reuse those rockets as many times as possible, so they're not taking a lot of chances with them because it's a SpaceX company, so every time they can reuse a rocket, they save a ton of money, so.
Wild.
So they're reusing rockets a lot.
Uh-huh.
But we tried.
Yeah.
We had dinner with some friends down there that I know. One of my friends that used to live up here. Her husband works for SpaceX now, so we kind of went down there and kind of hung out.
How was the situation as far as masking and all that sort of stuff? You have to be in.
Most people were wearing them. Most people were wearing them down there. A few people weren't outdoors, but it was only outdoors where I didn't see anybody wearing a mask. Anytime people were indoors, they were wearing them to tables and things like that.
Yeah.
But people, it's not like, you hear up here, oh my God, they're heathens down there. No, they're not. They're just not. Most people.
I never think of the South as heathens at all.
Yes, you do. You think they're red rednecks.
Oh, no.
You said it, Bob.
No, some of my best friends are from the South.
Anyways, but so most people are very respectful about it. Outdoors, if you can socially distance outdoors, it's not a huge deal because they've said that right along.
Yeah.
So, but most people were very respectful about it, and people on the plane were incredibly respectful about it.
Was it cold?
The first day we were there was in the 60s and windy, but it was like sweatshirt weather, which was great for us because it was 7 up here and it was 62 down there. So.
Yeah,
I'll take it. And then the final day got up to almost 80, but we were leaving. So
you have come back here and you have to quarantine for a couple of days. Is that how it works?
Yes. So, nice if you're flying somewhere. Bradley now, as long as you can pre-register on their website, but Bradley now offers a 3-day turnaround test, PCR test. So it's the good one, not the antibody one.
Right.
Right in the airport by baggage claim. So you can go right to get your bags. And then you wait for a test, and they swab you, and you register, and they send you your results by email in 2 to 3 days.
Brilliant.
So with the negative test, I'll be out in a couple of days.
Wonderful. Well, let's hope it
is.
is, and I look forward to seeing you in person soon. And I wanted to tell. I signed up last week. I made this. I was really good until yesterday when I found something out. I signed up for a.
Bob's completely oblivious to Jay.
What's it?
Jay's been showing his cat now for about a minute, and you've been oblivious to it, Bob.
Oh,
that's why I'm making all those noises.
Like it was a. Does your cat? What's your cat's name? Cat.
Cat.
Would you hold?
Actually, I have 2 cats.
Are you gonna hold it up like Puxatani Phil here?
That one looked like my cat Patches when I was a kid.
Here we go.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, look at, oh,
Yeah, that's
there
Cat.
she is.
That's
Oh,
Cat.
she's not liking this.
No,
Patches.
no, that was my cat's name. I don't know what that cat's
Oh,
name.
what's that? So that's cat's name is what?
That's Cat. But I have
What's your other cat's name is?
other Cat.
Why don't one of them be Top
God.
Cat?
No, it's Cat and other
They're
Cat.
deprived cats.
They're-
Poor kitties.
They're deprived. Those cats are
Oh,
deprived. Oh,
Every cat has 3 names, right, Bob?
yes. What are they?
Well, it's the cat that we name them, and the cat it's the name it's the name that all the other cats know him by,
Uh-huh.
and then it's the name that only that cat knows. He calls himself.
You've seen the movie Cats.
No, I saw the play.
Oh, interesting.
That was one of Marianne's and I our first dates was down to New York to see Cats.
Well, you've got to see the movie. Of course, it gets a bad rap. It's not so bad.
I heard the movie was horrible.
Oh, I don't know. I love the movie. I kind of love the movie. Although you got kind of tired of all the tails wagging in the ears and all that business. And yeah, I prefer the Broadway version, although I will fall asleep. I mean, where was I? Oh, I was telling you about this, folks. Okay, this is what he did. So I signed up, Jay, I signed up for the vaccination. Okay, I went online to the government, whatever. Then I found Massachusetts, and then on Massachusetts, I found the thing, and then I found all of the spots that were giving the vaccinations. And I tried to get a vaccination at all of them, and they weren't accepting vaccinations, except for in Northampton. So I go to Northampton, and I get myself on a waiting list, okay, at the Northampton Senior Center. And then I'm talking to somebody, and then recently, yesterday, I think it was, and they say to me, I tell them about this. They go online to register, and they say, Bob, you can't. You're not from Hampshire County. So Northampton, I was on this waiting list for Northampton. I'm still on that waiting list as a Hampden County resident. And I'm wondering, do I go? Don't I go? Well, at any rate, we'll soon find out. But I'm on a waiting list, so whatever. So when you're trying to register for your vaccination, make sure that you're in the right county. I was in the wrong county. Of course.
Bob, you're just a lawbreaker.
I am a lawbreaker. Speaking of lawbreakers, look who's arrived. It's Dennis,
Good morning, all.
Denny Atkins.
Morning.
My favorite 3 people at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's been you don't like anybody at 7 in the morning. Do you?
My dog. I have a dog. I love my dog. He's right here by my feet.
You in like forever. How you been?
Jay, I've been great. Thank you. You look so great. It's so good to see you. Bob, it's an honor to be on your show again.
Oh,
Thank
stop
you.
it. Yeah, that.
And it's
We're gonna
such
give
an
you
honor. I begged and pleaded. I wrote to the newspapers. I said, please let me back.
My problem is I beg and plead to be off the show, but he keeps pulling me back.
No. Look at that, Dennis. Jay is sitting in a parking lot.
I can see that it's a concert going on behind him, but it looks like it's not real.
Well, it's a shot of a real concert, but we're hoping that.
No, I meant you, Jay, not the concert.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
We are hoping to be doing some drive-in concerts this summer.
Oh, Jay, that is such good news.
We want to, we just plain, we want to bring some music back, live music back to Westfield. So.
Oh, wonderful. Listen, 3 quick things. Happy birthday, Pete. I know it was a few days ago.
Thank you.
And Bob and Jay, I just want to congratulate Bob for Westfield on Weekends and Jay for you all thinking so much outside the box during this incredibly difficult pandemic period to bring things to Westfield that are creative and actual and not totally virtual. And it's amazing. And my hat's off to you. But if I had my head's cold, so I should put a hat on.
Oh, I thank you, Denny. That's very nice. Yeah.
It is incredible. It's incredible.
Well,
Let me tell you, I travel a lot, and it's not the same everywhere.
Oh, well, we're real fortunate to have a great board that's working hard to do things. And we, when you know this, it's the old actor thing about improvising.
Yes.
You're stuck on a stage and somebody goofs and you have to
Bob, I was on stage with you many times. Trust me, I know.
That's why you're so good at that, Danny.
He understands the art of the goofing off.
Oh my God. Yeah. When in doubt, make something up. My worst experience, Dennis, I don't know if you know this story, but I was doing Dial M for Murder in the South. And I was at a dinner theater in Hurricane, West Virginia. That most people get Broadway. I got Hurricane, West Virginia. And so I'm doing Dial M for Murder, and so it's a two-person scene. And in the scene, the woman who is husband has been murdered or something, or I don't know. She needs to go off and get off the stage. It was in the round. And to get a piece of paper and bring it back. It's very essential for the plot, this letter. So she leaves the stage, and I'm sitting on the stage, and she goes up to the prop desk right at the top of the row, like 2 seconds, and there's no one there, and there's no prop. So she has to find a piece of paper. So she leaves the theater outside, and she's in the lobby running around looking for a piece of paper. Meanwhile, I'm on the stage all alone in supposedly this mansion and everything. I was
you must have been. That's your glory. That's your piece of heaven.
Well, I couldn't
right
sing
there.
a song. It's a drama. It was an important point in the thing. I'm standing. I'm walking all around. I'm looking under. Like I was visiting, and I'm
looking for clues.
Here, I didn't know what the hell to do. So finally, I just kind of gave up. I lit a cigarette because I was a smoker in the play. So I lit a cigarette. I'm sitting there smoking, and then she comes down and she hands me the letter. And what it is a piece of toilet paper. The only thing that you could find was a piece of toilet paper. So I had to pretend that this toilet paper never mind. At any rate.
Well, the classic joke on stage that was done once on Broadway years ago, toward the end of a run, that they wanted to play a joke on one of the actors. So the other actor had the prop people ring the phone during one of his monologues.
Oh.
It wasn't a monologue completely because it was a dialogue because the two of them were on stage. And then so the actor who was being pranked simply picked up the phone and looked at the other guy and said, "It's for you."
Perfect.
Oh, that one, Bob.
Perfect.
I don't.
So, good morning, by the way. Good morning.
Those stories, Jay, are to tell you that you think outside of the box. The Westfield End Weekends folks think outside of the box. We improvise, and that's what led us to finding some new things that we're going to continue for years.
And Pete Coles does too. I mean, here we are all doing this show from different locations, and
everybody's home.
Yeah, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
so everyone is, and I think it's not just thinking outside the box. It's because two reasons: you believe in what you believe in what you're doing, and you want to provide that thing for the public. So it's also just the care for what your art form is and what you want to do.
Well, Denny, the other thing is we could have gone the easy route and just done a best of show today.
Done a what show?
A best of show.
I know that. Oh, absolutely. I'm well aware, Pete, of what you have to do to get up. And where are you, by the way, Pete?
I'm home. I'm in quarantine.
Well, that's unusual. You're in quarantine because
I just got back from Florida.
Oh, couldn't you get tested?
You both were on the road together. I mean, you weren't in the same car, but you were both driving. Or Peter, you were in.
Well, it's because he was out of state, Bob. He was out of state, so in order to come back to Massachusetts, you either have to get tested, or you have to be in quarantine.
I got tested at Bradley Airport, but it's 2 to 3 days turnaround time for the test. So I'm
just as when we get back from Delaware.
But the nice thing was I was telling Bob and Jay, at the beginning of the quarantine, I made moves to buy equipment so I could work completely from home if I needed to. So
well, that doesn't surprise me at all. You've been doing this since day one. I mean, you know how to put on a show. You're the classic. Let's put on a show in the bar.
Mr. Producer. He's Mr. Producer. Hey, Dennis, you went down to Rehoboth land of Joe Biden.
That's right.
How does that you for everybody? Denny has a property down there that you rent out.
Invited. You're all invited.
We're all invited.
Of course, we got plenty of space now.
Call me. I'll set it up. Yeah. Okay. But so you went down on the weekend. But you went down to get your vaccination.
I did. Delaware, then Massachusetts, my two loves of states. But Delaware is a little bit ahead of Massachusetts, and it's a small state. So the group of us, they've allowed the 65 and older to start getting their shots already. And there's only about 200,000 65, 75 and up in Delaware.
Really?
So, yeah. It's a small state, and actually there's more people in Washington, D.C., which is why it should be a state. More people in Washington, D.C. than Wyoming, so come on, make this thing a state so these people have representation, but enough politics. So that the vaccine was available on the first weekend. I had registered from here because I couldn't yet get it in Massachusetts. And as you know, Bob, I have some persistent lung issues from autoimmune disorder I developed years ago. Eosinophilia. So I needed to get the shot.
What's the name of it for everybody that you have?
Eosinophilia. It's my body produces too many white blood cells and they clog up my lungs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
So, but I'm on a
pre-existing condition,
Bob.
It's a comorbidity, but I have an injectable biologic drug, which is very new, that can clear this whole problem up, but I have to take it every 2 months for the rest of my life. But it's still considered a comorbidity. So that pushed me to the front of the 65-year-olds in Delaware.
Yeah.
So they opened it last weekend and 2 weekends ago. And there was 11,000 they did the first weekend. Wow. And in Delaware, you have to register and then they invite you to pick a slot. That's how they do it.
So you get a little invite. You'd say you are now welcome to join.
Yes, and the way they do that, there are several states, not just Delaware, that are doing this through the CDC. So my invite actually comes through the CDC.
Oh wow! Right up there, Dr. Fauci was in.
No, he didn't sign it. He didn't sign it, but they're doing it so that the CDC is controlling where so they are seeing where you're getting it, and they and in Delaware you don't have to be in the same county. There's 3 big counties in Delaware. I was not able to get one in my county, so we did it in Wilmington, which is the largest city. But it was in the convention center, and it was done by the National Guard. So all the National Guard nurses were there, and and it was a breeze, just a breeze.
Did you have any response to it at all?
I did. That's what I was just going to ask Peter. I was a little surprised, and in retrospect, I should have acted a different way on it. And I didn't have any. It was a side effect, not a reaction. But literally from the time I had the shot, I just felt very strange, but I knew the shot was working. It was like but I didn't. It wasn't scary, but it caused extreme fatigue.
Yep.
And thirst. I was very, very thirsty.
Well, your body temperature goes up in reaction to the shot. I've talked to the health director and some other people about it. The only reaction that I had was local site injection and maybe a slight rise in temperature. And what they were telling me was,
I know had, and then several people I know who are closer to my age had this fatigue.
Well, what they were saying was if you get the fatigue and body aches and stuff like that, it's because you were never exposed. So they believe I've either had it or I was exposed to enough where my body recognized the shot, the vaccine shot.
Yeah, could be.
So because I have a friend who has Lyme disease, one of my coworkers at my part-time job, and he was down for the count for 3 days, he said, because of it. So that means you were one of the lucky ones that's never been exposed.
Yeah, I've been pretty careful, but also, every body is different. Every body is different. Yeah. And I was expecting a little of that on day 2.
Yeah.
But I was surprised about, and because of that, when I got this that afternoon, we have a sunroom down there, and I was in a recliner, and I would fall asleep for 5 minutes, wake up, fall asleep for 5 minutes and wake. I couldn't sleep, but I also couldn't stay awake. It was strange. But
Wow.
I wanted to try to stay awake because I thought, well, if tomorrow is when the real reaction's coming, I better stay up today. Well, I went to bed that night and I was crashed. I was just out of it.
You're better off sleeping.
Oh yeah, I know, but I realized, but I didn't want to be in bed for 2 days.
That's true.
So anyways, even my mental processes were slowed down. You know, but not.
I can't believe that. Really?
Well, it wasn't bad though. I mean, it was mild. It really was. But I was looking for what was going on because I knew it was interesting. The next day, I woke up like nothing ever, had a little arm soreness, like Pete said.
Yep.
And that's it. That's it. Now that's only shot 1. You know.
Be prepared because they say shot 2 is the bigger dose, and you might be down for the. Be prepared to be down for the count for a day.
I don't think the dose is different. I think that it's, you know, the dose is the same, Pete. As from my understand, it's just that your body now recognizes what's coming in, and they go after it, and they have an arsenal now prepared, and therefore your reactions are greater.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Bob knows my good friend, our good friend, Dr. Mike Crincoli, who was out in, he was in Boston. He was a good friend of mine in Boston. He's a sports medicine doctor, a young guy. And he, of course, now is practicing in Phoenix, and he's in a hospital. So he got his other shots, his second shot, the day I got my first shot.
Oh.
And we talked on the phone afterwards, and the next day, not that day, the next day. And he said that, you know, he had been taking a nap because he was a little tired, but he was achy. And that was it. That's all he had. He had nothing the first day but a second shot. Second day, he was achy. So I think it all depends on the person. You know?
Yeah. It's funny when you get a symptom or whatever. I guess your first reaction is, "Oh my God."
Well, you and I, Bob, that's true. I don't think a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm going, "Oh my God."
We're reformed hypochondriacs, so of course we're going to be aware of.
Oh God.
Bob gets anxiety over a coffee spilling, so you know we're good with that.
Yeah, so we will be a little bit more cognizantly aware. That our nose has now fallen off.
No. Oh my God, help us.
Somebody said something about getting green hair. Was that you, Jay? That you know you got it right when you got the green hair? Jay's not listening.
Oh my God.
I hope I get green hair. I hope I get green. I think his screen is frozen. I don't think he's asleep.
Oh my God.
He's moving.
I was just saying he's not moving. I think the screen is frozen.
I think
Jay,
he fell
would you
asleep.
move just to make sure that. Hello.
Jay. Oh, Jay.
Oh no.
Yep, he fell asleep.
So in Delaware, we just had to make sure. I was a little anxious because you really had to be a state resident, and even though we own property there, we're not full time, and I wasn't sure if how much they were going to scrutinize, but they didn't at all. They were absolutely wonderful.
Lovely.
A lot of states are trying to get as many shots as they can deployed out there. I mean, just get them out there.
Yeah, and that was evident here, Pete, because in Delaware now, what they're doing is they are not assigning your second shot when you get your first shot. So in other words, they said that, and I already got, after you get your shot, the CDC contacts you with an invitation to get your second shot.
And will you have to go back to Delaware in order to get that shot?
I can. I don't have to. I can get it anyway. I can get it in Massachusetts.
Interesting.
That's we all get the exact same card from the CDC. Peter's got one now. Right, Pete?
It says you've got your.
They emailed me my card.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they emailed it.
Are you okay telling people you have your shot now and show them your card now, Peter?
No, I emailed it and I filed it away.
So
my next shot is scheduled for the 12th.
Yeah, I was spreading a rumor, Denny, that the side effect of getting a shot is your hair turned green. But
I could only hope. Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, one question and for Peter was, I heard that Westfield State was going to be a location. Is that correct?
I believe it's for educators. They're going to
Only
be a site
for
for educators.
Oh,
How
okay.
about former educators?
Hey,
I don't know. I know that the mass vaccination site they're planning for all of us, I think, is the Eastfield Mall.
Oh, that's
That's the
already up
first-
and running. That's up and
yeah,
running.
yeah, but it's closed today for the snow day, apparently.
Yeah, and they were talking
It
about
was open yesterday.
Was it? Yeah, it's closed
They were
today.
talking-
No,
Yeah.
I think the only thing closed today is the outdoor testing site, but I
Oh.
believe the indoor vaccination site, because it's in the old J.C. Penney's,
Uh-huh.
is still going to be going on.
Got it.
Well, as Bob knows, Peter, what drug did you get, by the way? Pfizer or Moderna?
Moderna.
Okay, and I got Pfizer. So there's
Oh,
differences.
we'll have to compare the two of you. This will be a good test.
Yeah.
They said the reactions are pretty much the same no matter
Yeah,
which one you
yeah.
get.
Yeah.
What's interesting is there are a lot of articles. I read several articles on this, but one of them was about the amount of protection that you get from one shot. And that's important because there may be a national shift because they're so concerned about these variants of the disease that they're now thinking, and some legislators are talking about pushing the CDC to just administer all first shots because you do get a good degree of protection from one shot.
Well,
Peter.
yeah, but the emergency recommendation from the CDC was both shots.
I understand.
But I guess the
understand, but
Johnson and Johnson,
I'm telling you that's potentially changing.
but the Johnson and Johnson shot is very, very close to being released, and that's a one-shot deal, and it's also room temperature, so that they can get a lot more of those produced a lot faster.
Well, it's not completely room temperature, Pete. It has to be kept in a regular refrigerator until just
Right.
before administration.
Right,
So
but
you
it's a
can
lot better than keeping it super cold.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to
But what's
open it up.
different, what's different about all these shots, including the Johnson shots, Johnson & Johnson shot gives you about 60% immunity at the top. For one shot from what Peter got, the Moderna, you can build up about 80% immunity just from one shot.
Yes.
The Pfizer shot, you only get about 53% immunity from one shot.
From one shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Both the Pfizer and the Moderna, with two shots, you'll go up to 95, about 95%.
Yeah, and the Johnson & Johnson, I think, will go up to 87 or something like that.
No,
But-
there is not. No. You don't get a second shot with Johnson & Johnson.
Oh,
It's only-
no,
it's
one
oh,
shot.
that's right.
It's only
So,
60.
but what's the 87 then? So you eventually it comes up to 87%,
Well,
or is it only 60%?
Bob, the biggest thing about
67%. Maybe.
the biggest thing about all these shots is it gives your since it's a novel coronavirus because it's never been in humans before. So all of these shots, if you get anything, it gives your body a chance to recognize. So
That's
the biggest
absolutely
problem
true.
was when this whole thing started is people would get a high viral load and get overwhelmed because your body didn't know how to fight it.
Right.
So people that were exposed, with little things like touching surfaces and things like that, develop some immunity, right? But now with the vaccine, even one shot, your body at least can recognize the problem and say, okay, I'm going to fight this properly and not fight it,
And that's literally what all vaccines do.
Correct.
And we have to realize that even the flu vaccine that we got, it doesn't give you the amount of protection that these two doses of these two main drugs give you. And flu shot protection is probably in the range of 70%,
Oh, interesting.
not 90%.
But and I think all of them help to reduce the severity of the illness if
I think that's true.
you should get it.
Right. And that's why there's just talk at this stage about possibly at some point switching to only one shot each because they're trying to reduce the hospital stays. And that's where the crisis is and death.
Oh, interesting.
Those numbers are already starting to go down, I saw.
Yeah. Well,
it
and,
is.
and the good
It
news
is.
is that the government is now the CDC and Dr. Fauci, who is he's not Center for Disease Control now. He used
NIH.
to be.
National Institutes of Health.
National Institutes of Health. Okay, thanks. So they're for 3 times a week, they're going to have their
powwow.
press conference, and
Yeah.
they're really knowledgeable folks who are really giving you a real solid course in the value of medicine and science. And so look for those if you haven't seen them.
Another surprise I saw in Delaware, and this was a state where in July, when I was down there for 4th of July, I actually came home because I didn't feel safe. Because all these people that were still taking advantage of the Seas Coast, so a lot of them were from travelers. They weren't people from Delaware.
Yeah.
Nobody wore masks, and I didn't feel safe. So, and even though we're in a complex that's gated, I didn't want to. In my complex, I felt safe. But this time, when I went down there for the shot, and it was all Delaware people, the majority of the people not only had masks on, they had double masks, which is what they're talking about.
Why?
But I didn't have that. I had a good mask on, but I didn't wear a double mask.
Yeah.
I was telling Bob that when I went to Florida, for the 4 days, the majority of people wore masks. Outdoors, if people were walking around or exercising and stuff, you didn't really see a lot of that, but they were keeping distance and stuff like that.
Yes.
But indoors, going to restaurants, you see people putting their masks on as soon as they got out of their cars.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better now than it was in May. In May, there was no numbers.
And the reason for that is because of how bad it got everywhere.
Right, and the numbers in May were.
It was the death. People were afraid to die.
Yeah, in May, the numbers were almost non-existent in Florida because it hadn't hit there yet. It just hadn't hit there yet. And then by September, October, it really started to hit there, and people.
Yeah, well, it hit differently, hit at a different time in all.
Correct.
Yeah.
And some people got hit twice.
Yeah. Hey kids, let's play a song. It's Groundhog Day, so I found a groundhog song, believe it or not, called Happy Groundhog Day. It's written for children, but believe it or not, this is going to drive you crazy because it sounds like Baby Shark. Remember Baby Shark?
Bob, I'm going to shoot you now.
All right. Happy Groundhog Day by Jack Hartman.
Jack Hartman! Kids Music Channel!
There we go.
It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. February 2nd is the day every year we celebrate. Yay, yay, Groundhog Day. Yay, yay, Groundhog Day. A celebration takes place in a town whose name is fun to say. Punxsutawney. Say it, Punxsutawney. Again, Punxsutawney. Yeah, Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania is the place. On February 2nd, it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. The groundhog's name is Punxsutawney Phil. When he pops up, it's a thrill. If he sees a shadow on the ground, there's 6 more weeks of winter coming down. He pops up, looks around. He pops up, looks around, see if he sees his shadow on the ground. It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
Let's be friends. Place your mouse on my guitar and click the red subscribe button. Also, you can click this icon to visit my website. And click on one of these boxes to see more fun educational videos.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, February 2nd, 2020, and counting. We're having a great show today with Denny Akins, the master of the universe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da, da, da. Peter Coles, kitten of the keys, and Jay Pegluka, trusty, dusty, lusty sidekick, who's moved. Where are you, Jay? You're looking in another room here.
Well, yeah, we already struck the show over there at the drive-in, so that's all put away for next time.
I gotcha.
Can I ask
that?
Can I ask Jay where the drive-in concerts might be staged?
We're looking at two venues right now. One of them is behind the Boys and Girls Club, but I do know that there's going to be some construction over there as they're expanding the Boys and Girls Club. So right now we're trying to find out where that construction is going to encroach on the big field back there.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not too bad, we're going to try and do it out there. And we've got some other options too.
Yeah. I mean, they do that. They have the antique cars all the time up on the grounds of that. What's the company that's up on?
Yeah, I know this.
Hampton Ponds Plaza.
What is it?
Hampton Ponds Plaza.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. Up by McDonald's over the river.
Yeah, that's up by Mestec in the lawn.
Mestec, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that big lot there.
Yeah, we couldn't do it there because it's too much traffic going by.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe the Roots Athletic Center might be another place to do it. Which is that if you haven't been to the Roots Athletic Center, you got to see that up on.
Well, but that's indoors. We got to.
Yeah, but they have their outdoor area, their soccer field. Well, you'd have to find a night that they're.
Hey, Bob, they're in enough trouble with the neighborhood up there. They don't need a concert.
Holy God! Oh, there's always problems everywhere we look.
Bob, I have a message from Michael for you.
Yes, what is Michael, your spouse?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's outside shoveling and snow blowing, but he said that if you want, he'd be happy to do another episode with you on one of your other shows.
Fabulous. Michael is my CPA, and I thought I'd have.
Oh, he's my CPA.
Oh, yeah. Among other things.
He's your financial advisor.
No.
Yeah. It's a certified.
He's really a tax expert.
He really is a tax expert. So
there's some changes to the way everyone's going to do their taxes this year. So he was going to talk with Bob on air about some of the changes in the federal tax law.
Yeah, because the last time that I was told I was going to have lower taxes, they took more money from me. So.
So he knows all about the money that people got from the for the stimulus. The little bit of whatever you got.
Yeah.
He knows how to handle that tax-wise. He'll talk about that. And also,
hey, $10 is $10, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I wondered, this would be interesting for our listeners, I think. You're a resident of Rehoboth down there, and right next to where Biden, and doesn't Biden have a house right near you down there someplace?
He does. It's about a mile from us.
How has it changed since he's become president?
Well, first of all, Rehoboth is a funny enclave. I mean, as an ocean resort, they are extremely fond of the Bidens because the Bidens have, been part of that community for quite a while.
Oh.
And I think they would get some kickback in other communities. The problem is that there's only one road in and one road out of Rehoboth. So, like, if there's a hurricane, like Peter knows, with all these
causeway,
these areas tend to be like that because they're coastal areas. But they worked out a plan where, Joe Biden's and Jill Biden's house backs up to Henlopen State Park, which is an oceanfront state park, and it has a very large parking lot for the public. You have to get a pass to go to use that particular beach, but it has many parking lots. So what they're going to do is, in the summertime, he comes down there all the time. And Jill comes down there all the time.
Because how far is it from Washington, D.C.?
It's about, it's actually, but, as the crow flies, it's only about 65 miles, 70 miles.
Huh.
But the problem is it takes about 2 hours to drive there because there are no main highways. When you go from Delaware the closest direction, it's all farmland. There are no straight roads. So you're turning every 2 minutes until you get to like the bridge that takes you to Annapolis. And then it's very quick. From Annapolis to DC is only about 25 minutes.
I see.
It's a beautiful ride, but it's not fast.
Well, they must have a heliport where he's going to fly in.
So that's what they're going to do. They're going to take one of the small parking lots at Hennepin State Park, and then just when they know he's coming, they're just not going to. In the morning, they'll cordon that off from cars, and they'll fly him in there, and then they'll wheel. And he only lives literally right around the corner.
I'm sure the Secret Service have a nice spot that they set up somewhere.
They do. I mean, the Secret Service literally is at the house now, 24/7.
Yep.
With or without, whether he's there or not.
That's how it was for Bush.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it still is because
yes.
Yeah.
They have the enclave up there. But the difference between Joe Biden's summer house, which this is, or getaway house, is that the Bushes have an enclave that's separate from the community of Kennedy.
Yeah, it's like a peninsula almost.
It is. Yeah. That's not.
It's easier to defend.
Yeah, they have.
So you can see the house from the road for if you drove down there?
Yes, yeah. We drive down there all the time because it's a nice drive. We go in and out, and we wave to the Secret Service. And
by the way, Denny, I'm heading
guards?
down that way shortly. I'm the 18th of February. I'm leaving. There's a launch on the 20th, Saturday the 20th.
From your house?
Chincoteague Island.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wallops Island.
You're welcome to stay. If we're not there, you're welcome to stay. It's kind of, we could adjust the temperature and unlock the door from here.
Okay. Well, I got a room down there, but we'll figure it out because.
Okay, if we're down there, we'll join you. How's that?
Our former emergency management director, Jim Wiggs, is living down there now, and he's going to meet me. He's only at 30 minutes away, so.
Now, Chincoteague, I didn't realize there's a launch pad from there as well.
Wallops Island, yeah, there's several now.
Wallops Island, yeah, okay.
It's right. Wallops Island is.
Yes, okay.
A mile and a half away from
Chincoteague, the one that we went to with the dogs.
No, with the horses, Bob. With the horses.
Those were horses.
Yeah, that's the Assateague National.
Yes,
National Park.
It's a little north of there, Bob.
Boy, is that something else?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, these wild baby like pony. They're like
the ponies, yeah.
Ponies.
Yep.
Yeah, and they swim in the ocean. Those horses.
Yep.
Wild.
And the fire department for Chincoteague Island every year has a fundraiser where they can take a certain number of the ponies, and they can sell them as a fundraiser. They have had that deal going on for 100 years.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah. Bob, Rehoboth, there's certain stores in Rehoboth that the Bidens always go to, for specialty things, like they have an ice cream shop they love right downtown. And so after he won the election, a lot of the national news were interviewing all these people. And whenever he's in town, you'll see all the national news. They're just down the street from our place. And they're like 2 neighborhoods away from us. But the Secret Service already. Oh, sorry.
No, you're right.
I lost you. There you go. The Secret Service are all over the place down there already. But it's, they have been, he's been a senator for a long time.
Sure. So they're kind of used to. Well, as a vice president, I guess he must have a guard. He had Secret Service with him.
He had a
as
detail,
vice
yeah.
president as well.
That's right. Yeah. Now this particular house, they didn't buy until after Bo died.
Oh.
And because if you go when
is
you go
it
to the
grand?
house,
Is it a grand house, mansion like?
It's not a mansion. It's a big house. And it's where it is as opposed to what it is.
Oh.
The house is on that street because it's so close to the ocean. It's not on the ocean. It's got that state park in between. But on a hurricane event, all that water could come in. So those houses are all built up. Not, some on stilts. His is not on stilts. He has 2 garages underneath the house. And over a plaque over one of the garages says Jill Forever. And then
Jill Forever.
Yeah, and the other one says something like Bo, thanks Bo, or miss you Bo, or something. And I might have them reversed, but there's a tribute to both his new Jill and to his son Bo.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I remember
it's a big house.
The folks who are when he's down there on at the house, they're down on the boardwalk in Rehoboth.
Oh yeah, that's where everyone goes.
Yeah, and we were
You know.
talking. There's this huge, big sign that's a candy store. That's the
which came down,
Dolly's.
which came down for the first time in 100 years the other day.
What are they going to do with the sign?
Well, there's a lot of controversy in town right now because the candy store owner owns another candy store just 50 feet down Rehoboth Avenue, which is right off the boardwalk. And Dolly's, that's Dolly's, that sign.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, that sign was grandfathered in because it's too large. Nothing would be allowed like that now.
Yeah.
But that was put in over like 8,500 years ago, and it was allowed. So he's trying to get permission to move it over his new store. And it's a family squabble because his brother owns the store property on the boardwalk that they're in now. And he went up so much on the rent that the brother who owns the candy business said, no, now I'm moving everything to my other store. I'm not paying that much money. I was like, yeah. But you'd be interested in, Bobby, you know, that theater company in Rehoboth.
Yeah.
The one you went to, they are building the most amazing theater complex right near us, right at the end of Rehoboth Avenue.
Oh my gosh.
And they're literally building 2 buildings to house 2 different theaters, one for actual stage performances and the other for rehearsals. You know, because they're a repertoire company, so they're going to be rehearsing while the shows are going on.
Wowee. Yeah. Well, get that room ready for us.
Yeah, you have a room. You all have space to come.
I demand I demand a peppermint on my pillow every night.
All right, then bring your own.
Do I have my own toilet there?
You do actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's good news. Good, you know. As Jay
we're going to put a plaque
that,
on it. Bob's toilet. Do not go in here.
Bob forever.
And the one thing about Biden is that he's so comfortable with Delawareans that the Secret Service are already having a little problem because when he comes, you know, he's smart enough as a senator to not just wander off, but he does in Rehoboth Beach, and that's been a little bit of a secret issue because he likes to go up and down the street and say hi to the people. You know, and that's going to become a problem come next summer when coronavirus is starting to come down, hopefully, and the huge throngs are coming back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He likes to get out there like that. Hey,
don't worry.
Have you been to Rehoboth ever?
Say that again, please.
I was asking Gino if he'd ever been down there. He must.
I have not.
Rehoboth?
Whenever I go down that way, I go through Delaware. I don't usually spend much time.
Yeah, most people go through. And when you go through Delaware, you're only in Delaware for a short amount of time because you're going to the top of the state.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been to the Delaware Gap.
Delaware Water Gap goes all the way up to Philadelphia. So that's where you see that. I mean, Philadelphia is on the Delaware River. So a lot of people get confused. And there's a Delaware County in Philadelphia.
Is that the river that George crossed?
George Washington crossed the Delaware, yes.
Okay.
Standing as you can imagine.
Standing.
Yeah, because you always see him in the pictures standing up in the boat, which you don't do, you know, not that small boat.
He would, no, you don't. No, how big is is it a big river, the Delaware River?
Well, like many rivers, it's larger at some points than others, yes. But the Delaware River runs from Wilmington all the way down to Rehoboth. It runs down one end of the state. You know, it runs along the entire state. So when you get to Rehoboth is on the ocean. The next town up, Lewis, is actually on the bay where the river comes into. So there's not a lot of waves at the beaches in Lewis because it's really on the bay.
Yeah.
And across the bay,
Gino J. Pagluca is a big golfer, and that's a great place to go.
Is it?
Gino. No, he's shaking his head. All right.
And all these stickers that you see on the cars down there have LSD on them.
What does that mean?
Lower, slower, Delaware.
LSD?
Yeah, that's what people around Rehoboth and Bethany and Dewey Beach. They have this philosophy called lower, slower Delaware. Because life is.
Wow, lower, slower Delaware.
You take enough of that stuff and you can be lower, slower anywhere.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, 7:42 in the morning. Let's take a break. Hey, this is a song by Nelly, believe it or not, featuring Tim McGraw at 7:45. It's called Over and Over Again, and it is a clean song. How do you like that? Nelly featuring Tim McGraw, Over and Over Again.
Cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I can't keep picturing you with him, and it hurts so bad. Yeah, cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I replay it over and over again, and I can't take it. Yeah, I can't shake it, no. I can't wait to see you. Wanna see if you still got that look in your eye. That one you had for me before we said our goodbyes. And it's a shame that we gotta spend our time being mad about the same things over and over again. About the same thing over and over again. Oh, but I think she's leaving. Oh man, she's leaving. And I don't know what else to do. Can't go on not loving you. Cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I can't keep picturing you with him, and it hurts so bad. Yeah, cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I replay it over and over again. Yeah, I can't take it. Yeah, I can't shake it, no. I remember the day you left. I remember the last breath you took right in front of me. When you said that you would leave, I was too damn stubborn to try to stop you or say anything. But I see it clearly now, and this choice I made keeps playing in my head over and over again. Playing in my head over and over again. Oh, I think she's leaving. Oh man, she's leaving. I don't know what else to do. I can't go on not loving you. Cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I can't keep picturing you with him, and it hurts so bad. Yeah, cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I replay it over and over again, and I can't take it. I can't shake it, no. Now that I realize that I'm going down from all this pain you put me through. Every time I close my eyes, I lock it down. Oh, I can't go on not loving you. Cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I can't keep picturing you with him, and it hurts so bad. Yeah, cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I replay it over and over again, and I can't take it. I can't shake it, no. Over and over again, over and over again, cause it's all in my head.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield. Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies, rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, Groundhog Day, February 2nd, 2021 and counting. My name's Bob Plass. It's the Westfield on Weekend show. Go to westfieldonweekends.com or on Facebook to see all the things that are happening or not happening or whatever. If you want to see what we did or what we're going to do, that's where it is. Yeah. Pete Coles is laughing. He's the kitten of the keys. We've got Denny Akins, who is here with us from his home in Westfield. We've been talking about Da-da-da-da. Hey, did you know this? That Groundhog Day, according to this, was originally celebrated, it came from Germany, and the holiday was Candlemas. And they believed that the sun came out on February 2nd, winter would last another 6 weeks. That's where we get it. And get this, the original Groundhog Day involved eating groundhogs. Good eating. Groundhog eating. Yeah. After sightseers created Puxatawny Phil's weather prediction in 1886, they all headed over to the Gobbler's Knob to dine on a feast made up of various groundhog dishes and the equally delicious sounding groundhog punch. Now, in Birmingham, Alabama, they had Birmingham Bill. Sir Walter Raleigh is in Raleigh, North Carolina. General Bowley of Atlanta, Georgia. These are all weather predicting groundhogs. And Pothole Pete in New York City. Unbelievable.
He predicts the number of potholes every year.
Hey, I haven't seen a lot of potholes this year.
Mayor was talking about that on Monday. He was saying how the roads have improved recently. Of course, last year was a pretty light snow year. Well, we'll see how that goes this spring. And
yeah, it's really a little early for pothole season.
Oh, really?
It's when the temperatures start to climb and the frozen roads start to convert.
When you have warm days and cold nights.
Yeah, you got frost heaves underneath the.
All right. Hey, I remember once during our program years ago, Peter cooked us into Puxatawny Phil's being pulled out of the ground. And
can you do that again?
Not gonna happen today.
No, it's not gonna happen today.
Dirty, dirty,
but get this. Did you know that apparently Bill de Blasio picked up the groundhog one year at the ceremony in New York, and he dropped the groundhog?
Doesn't surprise me. He's a nightmare. That's on that one something we could all agree. He's just a nightmare.
And wasn't there a year that
Bill de Blasio?
Wasn't there a year that the groundhog didn't want to come out of the hole or something?
The guys in Gobbler's Knob say a lot of times that they get bit pretty seriously because that groundhog doesn't want to come out. They get bit pretty good.
Well, I'm not putting my hand in that hole.
Well, Puxatawny Phil doesn't come out of a hole. He's in a cave.
They have a cave that's looked like a tree.
Yeah. He's got a little den, so they're not taking him out of the ground.
Oh well,
I think Puxatawny Phil lives in somebody's house.
Oh, he does.
I don't think that's a wild animal because I think that's Puxatawny Phil's pretty well domesticated.
I think that's a nickname for somebody's brother-in-law.
Hey, did you hear about
still
Phil?
here.
Yeah. Did you hear about Phil? He's over at the bar again. He saw a shadow.
Unbelievable. Hey, Denny, what are you watching during your quarantine? Are you watching anything good?
Oh my God, who's not watching? Everyone's watching. This is the golden age of television, for God's sake, because of COVID. We just finished.
I got time.
Yeah. I know. Well, this is old folks talk, Pete. Let the old folks talk.
Actually, you know what? I watched on Apple Plus. I got it for like a month, and I watched For All Mankind.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a pretty good alternate history.
What is it?
It's an alternate history of the space race that if the Russians landed first on the moon, what would have happened, or what people think would have happened. And it's very well written series. I'm waiting for the second season.
Is it a drama?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an alternate history, Bob.
Is it based on a novel, Pete?
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds like it is.
Yeah, I think it
Well,
is.
we
and I
just
can't
finished
remember what they
watching
said.
both seasons of a wonderful show that I know Bob knows about called The Alienist. Do you know it, Jay?
oh yeah, it was written by a book. I read the book. I have it here.
Yeah, he's a
somewhere.
historical
Caleb
writer.
Carr wrote a great novel.
Yeah, and it's about, back in the 1800s in New York City. The author was a historical writer, so he really tunes in on what New York City would look like and feel like in that period of 1800s. But alienists were kind of pre-psychologists. They were people that dealt with individuals whose true natures were being perverted, and so something that like the psychiatrists would deal with today.
Yeah.
So at that time they felt that their true natures were alien to their bodies. So the alienists would help them figure things out. But these are like detective stories, and they were wonderful, wonderful series. Kind of morose because they're about serial killers, but very suspenseful.
I loved it because isn't Teddy Roosevelt a character in that?
He is, yeah. In this period
people.
of history, Teddy Roosevelt was the police commissioner in New York City. Not very well liked by the police, by the way, because he was more modern. And the police were made up of mostly Irish thugs in New York City at that time.
Yeah.
And something I know a lot about being an Irish thug.
Irish thugs.
And then and it's about the first female that was hired by the police department. And so in season 1, she's one of the leads is a female working for Teddy Roosevelt. And in season 2, she actually goes off and starts her own detective agency of all females.
Interesting. Interesting that you say that because I'm watching on it's being broadcast on Sunday nights on Masterpiece Mystery.
Yes.
Miss Scarlet and the Duke, which is about one of the first female detectives in London. And
that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's really it's charming and it's about feminism and all of that sort of stuff. I'd recommend that a lot.
How about Bridgerton? Has anyone seen Bridgerton?
Oh yeah, I loved. Oh my
Mary
God!
and I are caught up on Bridgerton, and she and her book club members. Yeah,
it's hot.
Well,
it is hot. Steamy.
It is, but it was surprising because all of her lady friends, her book club friends, were comparing it to like the Downton Abbey thing.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
We're watching it and go, no, this isn't anything like Downton Abbey.
it's like the soft porn version of Downton Abbey.
It's quite
steamy.
Yeah.
Steamy.
But but very entertaining for adults because of that.
Oh, it is. But the Queen of France, I guess. Is it France or England? No, it's England. England. The Queen of England at that time, who was married to George the IV or Fifth or Sixth, I don't know.
Some George.
It was the
Mad King. The Mad King.
The Mad King. I was going to say, yeah. He had a mental illness.
He's depicted in there too.
Supposedly, she was part African American. Or not African. She wasn't part African American. No, she wasn't an American.
No,
she was black.
There was no America then, per se. Yeah.
But so the characters in this story, it has a very, very kind of like universal theme because it doesn't matter whether you think of France in that time, you don't see a lot of black people in the court. And in this court, there are a lot of black people and there are a lot of interracial relationships. It's really an interesting,
well, I don't know how much historical
it's not
truth
totally
is there.
accurate.
But but certainly the theme of it was done in the style of Hamilton, where they purposely put all different kinds of colors and people in places they normally wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But the Queen might be, but the rest of them, I think.
Yeah,
the Duke, that's the main.
It's really wonderful. I also want to recommend Fran Lebowitz's "Pretend It's a City."
It's a city. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese's documentary. Jay, you'd love this. But Peter Coles would love it as well because the Fran Lebowitz is a wit. She's written a couple of books, but and she's a writer. She smokes. She drinks. She's 74 or 5 years old, and she has a philosophy that is really to die for.
Yeah, she's a New Yorker.
New Yorker all the way. It's a really fun series, and she speaks to Martin Scorsese in it, and it's really well done. I really want to recommend that. And Denny, you've got to see this one, The Dig.
Oh, I just saw previews for it for the first time.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is a wonderful movie. Jay, you and Peter would enjoy it because it's about archaeology, and it's based on history, but of course they've added stories to it as well. But it's a very small vignette from the past where this archaeologist discovers something that is in real life. He discovered it, and he's a digger, and the real professors get claimed for this thing that he did. And once he finds something, once these diggers find something, then all the experts come in and they get credit for it. Well, it's his relationship with this older woman played by Carey Mulligan. Older woman in the sense that Carey Mulligan is a young person playing an older woman. She's in her 50s, but she's a very unhealthy older woman, health-wise. And so she hires this digger. It's really dynamite. If it's not nominated for an Academy Award, oh my God, you got to see it. It's
it's number 3 on the Netflix best list this week.
Oh, got it.
Most watched, not best. Most
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to, kids have their own expressions today, but Jay will remember this. And Bob.
What was it?
We used to use the expression "dig you." Remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dig that. I dig that. I dig it.
What do you dig? Yeah. If you were
remembers.
If you were a jazz musician, I guess it would be dig, dig, dig. Yeah. I dig you. I dig you. Well, I dig you, Denny. Thank you for coming on. So great to see you. Jay Pagluka at home.
All of you.
Yeah. And we will have you on again. Peter Coles, thank you. I'm going to sign off so that Ken Stopsky and Kathy Palmer are waiting in the wings. I might stick around for just a week.
For Kathy Palmer and Ken.
Yeah. Hey, Peter, let's pave the Pennsylvania Polka just for the heck of it by the Andrews Sisters. Hey, this is, I don't know what the hell she's doing it, but Patty of the Andrews Sisters is moaning like Donna Summer in this in that song of hers during this. I don't get it all. Listen for that. It's really cool. At any rate, have a good day, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, stay masked
up. Happy snow day.
Enjoy the snow day. See ya.
Strike up the music, the band has begun. The Pennsylvania Polka. Pick out your partner and join in the fun. The Pennsylvania Polka. It started in Scranton, it's now #1. It's bound to entertain ya. Everybody has a mania to do the polka from Pennsylvania. While they're dancing, everybody's cares are quickly gone. Sweet romancing, this goes on and on until the dawn. They're so carefree, gay with laughter, happy as can be. They stop to have a beer, then the crowd begins to cheer. They kiss and then they start to dance again. Strike up the music, the band has begun. The Pennsylvania Polka. Pick out your partner and join in the fun. The Pennsylvania Polka. It started in Scranton, it's now #1. It's fun to entertain ya. Everybody has a mania to do the polka from Pennsylvania. While they're dancing all around, everybody's cares are quickly gone. Sweet romancing, kiss again. Pick your partner and join in the fun, and it's bound to entertain ya. Everybody has a mania to do the polka